40-year anniversary. That means me and these guys have something in common. The big 4-0. I mean, time is this crazy, crazy thing that just seems to fly by. And to think that they're on their 40-year anniversary, to me, is just absolutely insane. 40 years. So I showed Princess Leia off the other day on the live stream, and I'm going to kind of throw her to the side, and we'll get to her here in a minute. But what I want to do first is I want to just kind of look at these boxes. So all of these boxes are exactly the same. They show 5 of them on the back. 3 of these come just like this. So 1, 2, 3, and then there's a 2. I have not found that 2-pack, and I am currently looking for that 2-pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these guys opened up. Now, like I was saying, taking a closer look at these boxes are absolutely amazing. They're just like the Mandalorian box. They start off super dark up top, get light to give you that whole, like, we're in a different galaxy, like, perspective of the box. Super, super awesome. Lots of time, lots of thought went into making these boxes. So if you're an in-the-box collector, this is for you. The only thing I can say with Funko is the same thing I say all the time. A third window up top would be pretty awesome for like the in-box collectors. And here's something that I have discovered, that even if you're not an in-the-box collector, let's say that you're an out-of-the-box collector, like I'm going to say I am. Because I used to believe that I'm an out-of-the-box collector because I take a lot of my stuff out of the box and I collect it out of the box. But here's what I've discovered. I am also an in-the-box collector. When it comes to certain things, and like my Mandalorian, that 10-inch Mandalorian, I absolutely refuse to take that guy out of the box. So I can appreciate a good box just like I can appreciate taking them out of the box. And even when I take mine out of the box, I still save the box and I make sure that box stays mint. So I guess just in case I want to put it back in the box. I'm not 100% sure why I do that, to be totally honest with you. Now, just like Princess Leia, this guy has got a lot of weight to him and his head is really top heavy. He really would not stand without some sort of stand. And let me point this out. They have made a lot of plain stands. Okay, so the stands typically are just black. They say Star Wars on the front. That is it. They're normally this octagon shape almost. Pretty basic stands. This stand is not basic. This stand looks like it's actually from a part of the scene in this movie where he's in the swamp, right? I mean, so they incorporated this stand to this character really, really well. He has Yoda on the back where he's carrying him through the swamp. It's super hot. That's why he's like stripped his clothes down. Let's take a closer look at this guy. I mean, so even on closer look, like I was saying with the stand, Star Wars is really notorious for making this a really basic stand. Just a plain Jane, nothing fancy stand. I'm really excited that they're doing something a little different here. So it gives it a part of the movie, right? So that it just doesn't look basic. You can see where they've made him dirty and grungy. Yoda has his hair back here that's all white, kind of like mine most days. The paint job they put on this guy for the most part is really, really good. So whoever painted this one was on it that day. And I say whoever painted this one. Okay, so maybe y'all can throw a comment down below. I was told at one point that these things are hand painted, and I tend to believe that they're hand painted because the source I got it from was a pretty good source. And so if you believe otherwise, how about throw a comment down below and tell me what you think. See, I was told that's why there's such a variance on these paint jobs and the way that they come about is because they're all hand painted. And when I look at them, I can pretty much believe that. And when I say believe that, right, I mean that explains why some of these paint jobs are so different than the rest of them, is because they're not all done by the same person or the same machine, or maybe not even the same process. I mean, I'm sure there's a process in place that these guys go under, but sometimes that changes, right? Lunchtime might be getting close, and my process, well, I had to get out 10 of these before lunch, and well, number 10 kind of suffered a little because I was hungry and I was in a hurry and it was lunchtime. Now, that's the human factor of life, right? I mean, so let's not take that in a negative manner. That's the human factor of life. And like I said, if you know otherwise, how about throw a comment down below and tell me, but I've heard from like really, really good sources that these are all hand painted, and I think that's awesome that they are hand painted. I mean, it gives it just that little bit extra character. Now, this was one of them that I absolutely could not pass up. This is one of the most iconic parts of this movie, where he's put in this carbonite, and well before I've ever seen this one, people were actually making customs of this guy, where they were putting it in this carbonite all on their own. So even well before I'd ever seen this one, I had seen the custom versions of this, and I was always super jealous of the people who had custom versions of this, because I knew that this was something that they were probably never going to make, because it really didn't fall into the Funko realm until now. This is going to have to be a bobblehead, so I'm really curious on how they made this a bobblehead if he's in the carbonite, right? Because Funko's license with Star Wars is bobbleheads, not action figures or not movie moments. So, oh, look at that. That was some clever. That was clever. Can y'all see that? Can you see that? I mean, that was clever. Here, let's take a closer look at this guy. Funko's license deal with these guys is bobbleheads. So I was really wondering how they were going to turn this into a bobblehead. And you see that. Can you see the spring back there? So they put a little spring in there. The head really doesn't move, but I guess in theory it is still a bobblehead. Now he's a little smaller outside of the box than I would have liked him to be, but you can see where they've got the saliva coming out of his mouth just like they do in the movie as they're putting him in this carbonite. It's a really, really awesome movie moment. Now here's where I'm going to go. I wish that this would have had something done to it a little more than just being a plain back piece of plastic. And I wish that they would have taken the stand like they did on Luke over there and made the stand kind of match this right here. That way there was I don't really like these stands, and this has kind of been my complaint with the Star Wars stuff lately, is that these stands to me they don't do the characters justice. In size, I wish this guy was a little bigger, and like I said, I don't believe that this really does him justice. I believe even just a half an inch bigger all around would have added a little bit more, to the figure, right? I think it's really creative how they made the bobblehead. I think that they were thinking on their feet when they did that one. I mean, that was a genius move on their part. So I can't complain. Like I said, I wanted him in the carbonite since I seen him in a custom that someone had made him in the carbonite, and I'm sure that they used some kind of clay and mold and one of the Funkos to do it. And I don't really remember, but I seen it on Instagram. I don't know, a year before I've ever seen like this guy start making his debut and in circulation. I'm just going to set this right here to get him out of the way now. I'm going to get Princess Leia out of the box just in case we didn't see her on the live feed, because I know not everybody tuned in for the live feed, and it was pretty last minute. So I did the live feed, and it was pretty last minute. I mean, I did the live feed just to come on and wish everyone here a happy May 4th, because I let this skip by me before I realized that it was going to be May 4th, so I knew I wasn't going to have a video that was going to be celebrating May 4th, so I just kind of wanted to go on live feed and wish everybody a happy May 4th, and this one took the journey along with me. So just in case you weren't there to check her out, I'm going to get her open right here so that we can get a closer look at her, and then we can compare her with the rest of them, right? I mean, so that's only fair, right? I am currently looking for the 2-pack of these, though, because to complete this set, I need that 2-pack, and I kind of want to complete this set, even though y'all know that I'm not like super anal about having to have the whole set. I've already taken her out of the box. I've already seen her. She is a great pop. She has a lot of weight on her head, and I think that it's because of the hair back here. She has so much weight on her head. I don't know what you would call this, a long shirt or overcoat. I don't really know what you would call it, but it has this lace detail in it that I don't know that you're going to be able to see on camera, but I'm going to get it closer and hope that you can see it. The detail they were able to pack into her that you don't really notice upon first glance is pretty awesome. Let's take a closer look at her. Now, like I was just saying, the detail that they packed into her long coat, and I'm going to see if you can kind of see it in there, but the camera's just not going to do it justice. So you kind of need to see this one in person to get the full understanding. The hair is slightly disappointing because you can tell that the hair was glued onto her. I mean, you see that white residue. Now that goes back to the human factor of it. I mean, the human that did that didn't do a very good job. The same thing, you know, I think this could have been thought out a little better. I think that this one might have been rushed just a little. And her stand once again goes back to that. I wish that they would start doing like this whole like Luke stand back here, right? How they made his stand. I wish that they would start incorporating that stand a little bit more along the way. But at the end of the day, these Star Wars Pops are pretty awesome. And they did the whole 40th year, and I want to say anniversary. I mean, it's 40th year anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back, which is really awesome. I had no idea that they had already like came that far with the amount of them that they have, and that time had gone that fast. I mean, time is just this really crazy thing that before we even realize it has run away, and before we know it, we're 40, right? I mean, so that's the way it goes. So I guess every day is a precious day to me, and I love life and the way things go all the time, even when they don't go the way that I want them to. Guys, I still have these stickers. So this is how you get this sticker before I order a new sticker, because I'm going to order my new stickers pretty soon. This is a blue glow, which is a pretty awesome glow. Just share this video right here on any social media platform. Go to one of your social media platforms, share this video, then go to my Instagram. Say, hey Wayne, I shared the video. Hook me up and I will get one of these stickers in the mail to you. Don't forget, I go live on Fridays. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and become part of the Wayneko crew. There is no Wayneko crew without you guys. Thank you, and until next time, have a good one.